Welcome back to the Creative Leadership Network, where insight meets analysis and conversation spark transformation. I'm IBK. Listen, today I am going to be talking about parents and children and this entertainment industry and social media and all this stuff, guys. Listen, I know you heard of that song out there that's called 6'7". Yes, 6'7". It's been all over social media. It's been trending, like we used to say, like a big dog. You remember we used to say that in the South? That was one of the current terms. People would talk and they'd be like, honey, it happened like a big dog. Well, this is happening like a big dog. But have parents stopped to listen to what their children are listening to, the energy of a thing, the spirit of a thing, and then wonder why the children in the United States of America are rebellious in schools, are acting out, don't care, have no respect, and it carries over everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? And I do know that there are reasons why parents cannot be with their children 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Number one, especially if your children go to public school, it would be law, right? By law, your children have to be in those seats. They have to be in classrooms. They have to, be away from you from a time period. And the other reason is that you have to work, right? So many of you have to work. Some people can work from home. Some people have, they have enough money where they can pay one parent to stay home. But many of you don't have that. You have to work. Some of you are working 2 or 3 jobs just to hustle. Some of you are working online and offline just to hustle, right? And with this day of what they call hustle culture, get that money, the praise and worship of money. We're lacking something in this society. And one of the things that we are lacking is that parents are becoming their children's friend and buddy, which is good, instead of their parent. It's good on one hand, but if you're not careful, it can be very, very damaging. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let me get into what I really want to talk about. So I know you've heard of an artist out there. His name is Skrilla. So it's Skrilla and it's a song called Doot Doot 6'7". All right, I just want to talk to you this evening, face to face, in this week's episode. I see a phenomena that is going on that when I grew up, I did not see. I just simply did not see it. Maybe it existed, maybe it didn't. But where I came from and where I grew up, parents took their children's education, their children's lives, their children's whereabouts, their children's activities seriously. They wanted to know where their children were, whose house they were over, what time of the day, what was going on, who the person was. They wanted to know what their children were listening to, what type of music, what their children are involved in. And some may consider that as control. But the truth is, when I look back over my life, that wasn't control at all. That was actually a parent that was concerned. And that's what I'm going to talk about on this week's episode, because I really have seen a loss of that in the United States of America. I don't know about other countries because I am not there, so I can't speak for other countries. But in the United States of America, television, music, rap stars, entertainers, everybody is raising the children but the parent. And there are various reasons why this is happening. So this is not a judgmental zone, but it's definitely a zone to highlight that parents, you are leaders in your children's lives. And if you're not leading, someone is leading. So this has been trending on TikTok. It's been trending on, I guess you can say, Shorts, YouTube, just everywhere, right? And millions and millions of kids. Matter of fact, it's trending so much that in China, they named this particular Doot Doot 6'7". It's called 6'7", as the #1 vocabulary word in dictionary.com. Now, I want you to just hear what I just had to say. Listen to me closely. Doot Doot, it's really called 6'7", right? Has been named, according to China, in China, as the number one word in dictionary.com. Now, when you read over it, according to the Los Angeles Times, it is said that it has become more of a meme more than anything, and that it really doesn't have a meaning. That's what they've been saying. Oh, because everybody been trying to figure out what is this 6'7", and some people think they know, some people think they don't. But I'm going to show you a clip from the artist and let you tell him from his point of view, right? He lets you know. So let me show you this quick clip, and we're going to jump right back in.
This clip is used for commentary, analysis, and education under Section 107 of the Copyright Act.
Can you explain what 6'7" means?
That's why I never really put a stamp on it though, because the meaning that I had for it, it was like a negative, and it kind of like it changed, like 6'7" changed from a negative thing to a positive, and millions of other things though for other people though. Like 6'7" is like everybody got their own meaning to it, because I never put like a real meaning on it.
So my question is how do a word get inside of the dictionary, become word of the year, and nobody really claims to know what it means? Or people just cock it up. It really don't have a meaning. It's just a jam song. But it's in dictionary.com, where we supposed to go find meaning when we look up a word. Again, guys, our culture has just, I don't know what you call it, but it's just going down, down, down. Now, I'm not going to show the video here. And the reason why I'm not going to show the video here, because I don't want the copyright strikes and I ain't got time to deal with all that. But I want you parents to take out the time to go to YouTube and look up. And this is not to give this person praise or any lifting up, but I want you to look at the video for yourself. And the name of the video is Doot Doot, D-O-O-T, Doot Doot 6'7". The name of the artist is Skrilla. And I just want you to watch the video. The video has so much darkness in it. It's talking about basically annihilation, killing, shall I say. So we know that 6'7" can be a term that is associated with police when they talk about dead bodies, right? So when you're watching the video and you're looking at the video and then you go to TikTok,
Dad, look, I know the 6'7" song.
6'7" song?
Yeah, listen.
No, you don't. Let me see.
With the glasses, but Sir can see it savage. So many dead up, so many ashes. They catch that I can't pass. So like this thing, I don't need mine. But with that way to the behind us, looking at he died. 6'7".
and you're seeing little children. We're not talking about teenagers now. We're talking about little children with their fists held up, talking about and leaning over dead bodies. You gotta know that somebody is raising the children, but it's not quite the parents. Let's get into it. So I'm not here to knock an artist. I'm not here to tear down an artist. Now, I'm very strict when it comes to a lot of this music and entertainment that's being put out in culture. As a matter of fact, I interviewed a young lady who worked for Disney and who worked for the entertainment industry, and she create content for children. And we had a interview, right? And you can check that out. You can check it out. It's on my YouTube. If you ever watch YouTube, I am, you can check me out at TCLN Network on YouTube, and you can check out the video. And it's talking about entertainment and the youth, right? And the dangers of what is basically going on. If you guys are not careful, when all of this stuff is getting into these children, right? Because children copy stuff. They just do. They copy stuff and they take on stuff. Some children are aware of what they're doing. They have wisdom. Well, I don't know if you call it wisdom, but I just know that they just a little bit more aware, put it like that. And sometimes they may know what they're doing. They may know the meanings and the allegories, but there are many children that may not, but they love to copy what everybody else is doing, what teenagers are doing, and what other people are doing. And all of that stuff is getting into their spirits and raising them. I know the parents say, oh no, I raise my children, I feed my children, not this and not that. But if you're not paying attention to what's getting inside your children, that's the part that's raising your children. Because that is what's taking seed, that's what's taking root. And then your children get older and older, and then this stuff starts to grow inside them. So that's why I wanted to talk about this. I think it's important. As a matter of fact, I think it's so important that I was doing a little bit of research, and I was looking at some articles like the Los Angeles Times and just different articles, right? Even the teachers feel disturbed by it. So when teachers in this today's society, they're up and they're hype and they're dancing with their students and stuff like that. But when you start seeing teachers that are saying, we're disturbed by this and we don't want it in the school, then you know that something's got to be a little off, right? And the thing is that the reason why I think it's newsworthy, or I think it's something to talk about, is because when it reaches such a height where it's influencing millions of followers and a whole millions of those kids, a lot of these are kids, a lot of these are youth, young people, and even young little kids. I've seen them up there on TikTok. I was watching. That's how I came across the story. I was like, wow. I was like, young kids like doing all of that stuff, right? And parents, again, if you're not careful, this stuff is raising your children. So if you're not taking heed, like I said in the beginning, and watching what your children are watching, listening to what they're listening to, making sure that you're keeping parental vision with your children, I promise you somebody else is going to be raising those kids. And you might not like what you get in the end. You might not like the Chucky, you and the Chucky act that you end up getting in the end. And then you will be saying, well, I did everything I could do. I worked so hard. I provided for you. I done everything for you. Why would you treat me this way? Why do you disrespect me? What's wrong with you? This and that. Because there are things that are getting inside these children that are raising them. Remember, it says, raise up a child in the way that it should go. So when it grow, it shall not depart from it. Don't mean it ain't gonna stumble a little, crumble a little, but when those values and that stuff get inside, it builds them up. And they may stumble a little, but it builds them back up. But if you're allowing the children to have all this entertainment, all this information, all this music, and you're not filtering it and you're not monitoring it, and you're just thinking, oh, it's entertainment. Oh, it's harmless, honey. They just having fun. Mm-mm. That's why I say go watch the video. Darkness begets darkness. Darkness doesn't turn into a light energy form. Sorry, that's a deception. Darkness begets darkness, and light begets light. Do you understand that? So when you put in light and goodness in your children, that's what's going to come out of them. If darkness is getting inside of them, if corruption is getting inside of them, if murder and killing is constantly getting inside their conscience is going to become deadened, and that's what's raising them. That's what's getting this inside them. You understand that? And then you wonder why they having a hard time at school with these teachers, rebellious, all kinds of stuff going on, guys. And it's really a self-destructive course. You understand what I'm saying? Because then they start getting in trouble with juvenile. Then they start getting in trouble with the police. And the system gonna make its money, honey. System gonna make that money. So don't let it be easy money though. You understand what I'm saying? But that system gonna make its money. It's gonna get its bread. But don't let it be easy bread. Just because you allowing darkness, all this gook to raise your children. What do I mean by allowing this to raise your children? What do I mean by that? What I mean is that, like I said, when we grew up, our parents, we used to think it was strict, right? We used to think, oh, I can't wait till I grow up. I just can't wait till I grow up. I can't wait till I grow up. I can't wait till I be around my friends and we can do this and we can do that and we can do this. You understand what I'm saying? And what we did not know is that what we thought was strict wasn't strict. They were making sure that, what are you listening to? Oh, you're not going to listen to that sexual song? And you're not number 13? Oh, you're not going to do this and that? Oh, you're not going to put on all that makeup? Oh, you're trying to put them lips on and perky your lips so you can go look cute for John at school. You ain't got no business paying attention to John at school. You're supposed to be paying attention to your lessons at school. You understand what I'm saying? So we thought, oh, well, the other kids get the word. And our parents would tell us, well, you ain't the other kid. And I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. So then we would, of course, you know, kids have a way of, you know how kids are. They got this little way of, they little friend, they with their little friends, they say, okay, they don't let us wear it, so we're going to put some lip gloss on, a little of this on, and then before we get home, we'll wipe it off. You understand what I'm saying? The parents was real savvy. What's that on your eyes? What's that on your lips? You know, they were interested in their children's day. They took it seriously. So you sneaking and wearing makeup after I told you couldn't, huh? Oh, so you gonna wear that little short skirt to school after I said you couldn't, huh? Oh, so you gonna meet John Boy down the hall after I said don't do it, huh? So that's what I mean by, it's not about parents being so loose. You want to be your child's friend. You do. But you can be your child's friend in a positive way where you don't have to be loose with the world and allowing your child to be loose with the world. You understand what I'm saying? If you allow the world to raise your child, it will be that same world that will break your child. Y'all better hear me out. If you allow the world to raise your child, it will be the same world that break your child. So if you allow all the darkness, with the cursing, the B, the H, the this, I'm of this, I'm of that, all the pride of life, all the music that just pumps them up with a bunch of pride, a bunch of incantations, a bunch of just rumblings and acting like they start becoming like that. They start dwindling their mind down. They start dwindling their senses down. When we grew up, honey, your homework, mama, can we go outside and play? Have you done your homework? Bring your homework in here so I can check it. And our parents had to work. Wasn't no freeloading. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to work, but they were interested. You understand what I'm saying? They made sure. And then if you done your homework and you done your chores, you can go have fun with your friends. And before that sun go down, you better hit that door. And then when you become a teenager, the elders will tell you, baby, what you out here doing this time of the morning? Ain't nothing open but IHOPs and legs. Get your butt in that house. Because not only was it just you would have other people talking to you too. Now, with that being said, there was always a double-edged sword. There was always darkness on the other side. There was always the children that would sneak out the windows, sneak to the clubs. You understand what I'm saying? There was always, it's always this other side. There was always child molestation right up under your nose. No matter how much you try to protect your children and you think everything okay, you got somebody down the street funneling them and everything appears to be okay. You understand what I'm saying? So you do want to be a friend. You don't want to be so strict that your children can't talk to you, that they can't have fun with you, because then they won't be open with you. And if a child can't come to you, y'all know where the kid's going to go, right? They going to their friends, parents that allow them to do a little boogie woogie and a little snoogie. They going over here and over there. The world raise your kids. It will be that same world that break your kids. So when all that darkness about, oh, boom, 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 kill, and all this stuff and these kids acting like this, and that constantly gets in their conscious, and then they grow up with this stuff. And then you wonder why they pop off and these things be happening. Because the influence is already there. It's lodged in the psyche, in the mind. So all one needs to do is spark the card. All one needs to do is a provocation. All one needs to do is it's almost like what they call magic, right? All one needs to do is tamper with that, right? And it starts that chain of events. Now, I'm not saying that if you raise your child and you do your best that certain things won't happen. That's not what I'm saying. There's always a giving with something. But if you're constantly instilling in your children the right type of education, the right type of vocabulary, the right type of honor, the right type of way of thinking, the right type of way that you can listen to music, you can have fun with music, you can have a little sleepovers, you can do this, but we're not going to listen to all that dark stuff. We're going to keep it positive. You understand what I'm saying? You can do all of that and instill, and then teach them that principles. Get them, listen, rap music, hip hop, all this today, culture pop, it has a lot of incantations to it. So it's constantly mumbling. It's constantly word vibration. I'ma do this. I'ma do ma. So it's drilling, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing. Drilling in your child those things over and over and over. So when the events of life come and the world come to try to trip them up, what is the first thing that's going to pop up in their conscience? What is the first thing that's going to pop up in their mind? You understand what I'm saying? Mama said, daddy said, and then you're going to get that influence, right? Because you have when we grew up, they called it peer pressure. So today it's called influence. Back then it was called peer pressure. You know, they would talk to us about peer pressure because people would they would be your peer, but they would try to pressure you, right? So today, then you have to understand that with influence, you got influence all around, so much influence. And remember, we didn't have all that social media. We didn't have all the computers and all that and the phones and all of that. So it was limited in your corner of what peer pressure was. It was very limited. It was just the kids you went to school with, or that you went to church with, or that you understand what I'm saying, neighborhood kids and stuff, right? And believe me and you, if it was deep then, it's even deeper now. I remember kids would be at school in the back of the church talking about, we're gonna sneak out the thing, and they be up there preaching. Kids be at the back of the church, pastors, children, and everybody. Pass this note down there. Tell John I like him. Tell Susie I like her. If you like me and I like you, you meet me at the locker. So, kids was always plotting. But the parents was always involved. First thing they do is give you the eye. You know you ain't supposed to be talking in church. Give you the eye. And then when you get out of church, what was y'all passing in church? What was them notes y'all was passing? Up there, what are you doing? What is going on? In your affairs. Why? Because if they wasn't in your affairs, you're going to be running around with all these babies. You're going to be running around with all these diseases. You're going to be doing all kind of stuff, right? So we used to think that was so strict and so rebellious. And I'm doing it my little vernacular way. Every parent is different. Every personality is different. You know, people come from different backgrounds and different ways of talking, different modes of talking. But I'm just saying, like, be in your children's lives and in their affairs. It's funny to me how people are so nosy, looking at other folks' business. What you doing? What they trying to achieve? Where they trying to go in life? Always in other folks' affairs, but can't be in their own children's affairs. They 3-year-old child up there talking about, I'm a killer, and then up in somebody else's affairs worrying about what somebody else doing. You understand that? So I'm just saying all this to say, guys, If y'all don't get back to raising these kids, the world is going to raise them. You do not want the world to raise your kids.
Hi there. I'm IBK with TCLN Network. So this show is a news educational commentary show. I love to inspire and to educate. So I inform, inspire, educate. Educate to elevate so that we go from situations to solutions. I would love for you to support Cash App, PayPal. Listen, if you want to find out more information about TCLN Network, just check me out right there at YouTube. Also, you can check out my platform at www.thecreativeleadershipnetwork.com. Again, that's www.thecreativeleadershipnetwork.com. TCLN Network is a growing YouTube channel. It's also a growing network. It is not just about commentary and news. It's about making sure that we stay informed so that we make better decisions with the information that we have, whether it's voting, whether it's raising children, whether it's insight into our political arena. And that's what it's about. So I take the chaos that's out there in that world and I turn it into clarity right here on TCLN Network. I invite you to join me to subscribe right there on YouTube. I also invite you, if you are locally right here in Austin, Texas, to watch publicly every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on Austin Public Television. You guys have a blessed one, okay? Thank you for tuning in to TCLN Network, Austin Public. TCLN Network is independently produced by IBK Media Productions. To support TCLN Network financially, visit paypal.me/TCLN Network. Also, TCLN Channel Podcasts. To learn more about TCLN Network, visit thecreativeleadershipnetwork.com and follow on all socials, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at IBK Media Works.